I don't let being disabled define a lot of my existence until it literally has to. And
I am here today with Yvie Oddly, Drag Race winner of season 11 and author of a new memoir all about Yvie, Into the Oddity. I wanted to start off by
howdy.
asking, what motivated you to write a memoir?
Um, I have a story. No, I think, in all honesty, I was going through a lot of things at the time when the idea was first tossed around, and I was really having a hard time like piecing together a future for myself. I was very rooted in like what had already happened in the past, and so worried about how to make a future out of that I had a hard time moving on with like any given day, any given now. So when Michael came to me and asked if he could write my story, I was like, hell yeah, I need therapy.
Memoirs do require a different type of vulnerability, especially when you're going through all these experiences again. So, how does it feel to not only have to go through them again, but knowing that you're going to share them with the world?
It's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking because I've seen some of the feedback that you can get, positive and negative. It can be overwhelming, but I think more than anything, I'm excited. I'm excited to get to share a little piece more of me so that, anybody who is a fan or isn't a fan or doesn't know me, doesn't care, doesn't like me, can at least like have a reason to justify whatever they're feeling. I want to give people some backstory, because Drag Race being my favorite TV show, it's not able to capture everything of a girl's story.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, your artwork and your time on Drag Race dealt a lot with childhood trauma and chronic pain. You've always incorporated that into your artwork, but how did you approach it for this memoir?
I think the thing that I made the most uh apparent in the book is the thing that I like wish I could tell uh anybody who asks me how it is dealing with it, which is that, I really don't. I really, really don't. Uh, I know I'm disabled. I can feel it every day. I can feel it in the things I can do, and I can feel it in the things I can't do. But instead of, uh, I just really like as far as all the parts of my identity are made up of the intersectionality that is me. Uh, I don't let being disabled define a lot of my existence until it literally has to.
You can't control the feelings, but you can control your reactions, which brings us back into Drag Race. Your memoir promises to dive into some of the not so pretty moments from the show. Fans did get to see some heated moments, both in the series and on Untucked. But can you give us a preview of maybe a moment they didn't get to see?
I'm sorry to keep it so vague, but I think the biggest moment that they didn't get to see was most of All Stars 7,
Hmm.
which is explained way further in depth in the book. There are a few experiences I talk about in the book about All Stars 7 and how I guess it didn't line up to what I thought I was signing up for.
But back to your time on
Right.
season 11, or
Yeah.
rather after, your victory came right on the brink of the COVID pandemic, with lockdowns and cancellations like throughout your reign. What was that year like for you personally, especially as someone who already has pre-existing condition?
It was lovely. I'm not, I mean, as somebody who already has pre-existing conditions and was already beating their body into the ground, when COVID came around and forced me to sit and think and reflect on like what I was capable of and what I actually wanted to do, it was a blessing in disguise. It was painful not getting to see my friends and my family. It was painful like losing members in my community. The isolation wasn't easy, but I needed I needed space to breathe. The lifestyle that we live with the going, 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 uh, definitely isn't good for you. Isn't good for my body, at least, my health, my creativity. So COVID uh allowed me some time and an excuse to like sit at home and experiment with all these different sorts of art without snapping my body in half for the first time throughout my whole like reign.
Your memoir does also dive into your relationship with your fan base, which I believe you described as a love-hate relationship. So I would love to hear more about that.
They love me and I hate them.
Easily
No,
said.
no, it's definitely more complex than that. I think I'm on really good terms with my fans. I think me and my fans are chill now. I think and it's not, I mean, okay, I was about to say it's not their fault. It's not entirely their fault. Getting on Drag Race, the last thing I was prepared for was the fame part of it. I wanted to be an artist. Have always wanted to be an artist. It's like what I'm working for here, and I never thought about what it would be like to actually get to that level of recognition, how it might make me feel, how people would deal with me. So while I was like wrestling with all of this and wrestling with my interpersonal relationships, I had the most crossing over of my boundaries I had ever experienced in my life, so hardcore and so rapidly. So, you know, I think it took me a while to get used to the fact that the way people view me is probably going to be different. Like if you get to see somebody or something that you think is so cool that you never thought you were going to see, you're going to fucking fangirl. That's what I do. But uh you know, I also think it was healthy for me to lay down some boundaries to try and remind people that like I know we're fabulous creatures, but all the drag artists you've ever seen on that show are humans first and foremost, which means our thoughts, our needs, and our well-beings have to come first.
Looking forward to the future, Pride Month is in, well, as we record this, literally 2 days. What do you have planned?
I have planned the same thing I've done every year for Pride since I've come out, and every other non-Pride day of the year, which is gonna go out and chase the things that feel authentically fantastic to me. Because, uh, you know, the boiling down of our Pride movement is that people have always opposed the idea of queerness because it's embracing being happy even if it doesn't look like what the rest of the world looks like. So you know what? I'm gonna go around everywhere I go. I'm gonna spread some queerness. I'm gonna try and uplift others. I'm gonna tear down a few, but just in good jest. And I'm really gonna try and cherish the time I have with the people I have, the community I have, because it's so special, and I know that you know we're never out of jeopardy of people trying to take away our freedom and our happiness.